Right, David, we'll start with Max Aarons, if that's all right. Looks like he's off to Bournemouth.
I don't like and I can't confirm any clubs. What I can confirm is that he was not in training yesterday and today. Nothing is official, nothing is signed. This is why I don't like to speak any further about it. Do I expect something to happen in the next 12 to 24 hours? Yes, I do, but you know how football transfer window business is. Before nothing is officially signed, I like to keep quiet on it.
And you've obviously got Callum Fisher and Jack Stacey in that position. Presumably that's a position you're comfortable with, even if Max now goes.
Yeah, at the end of the day, as I said, we were and are aware about the situation regarding Max now for quite a long time. So if something will happen in the future, I would not be major surprised. We the whole time said we know the situation. Everybody knows the situation. Everybody knows how highly we rate him as a player and as a person as well. But obviously, it's transfer window, and sometimes players move on if the price is right. It isn't done so far, and this is why I like to, as I said, keep quiet on this one at this stage.
And if we move on to this weekend's game, has everyone come through training fine that was fit for the whole game?
Yeah, everyone is available. The same squad available like we had last week, and plus Placheta, who is healthy again. He was ill, so it looks like that we will have more or less the same squad available for tomorrow or Saturday.
And what about your sort of longer term injuries? Jakob Sorensen, what's the situation there?
So Lungi has visited a consultant. As we said, a further one. They decided to make a minor surgery tomorrow, which means we aim him back for during or after the September international break.
And what about Milo Rashica? I know there's still a lot of speculation around him and things, and you spoke about the fact that he was sort of in his pre-season at the moment. How long do you expect that goes on for? And if he is still at the club, when could he maybe come into the first team play?
At the end of the day, he's with us, so it's the same situation like before, and comparable to Max's situation as well. So he's now back since 2.5-3 weeks in training. Unfortunately, we don't have any test matches like we would have in the preseason, but our preseason was 6 weeks, and this means he has another 2.5-3 weeks to go. We will work with him and continue the process which we have started 3 weeks ago with him.
And what about Boyus Sainz and Jonathan Tompkinson? Where are they and how far away?
They're progressing quite well. Could be that they are back in team training short before the international break, or maybe as well during the international break. We have to see the next 2 weeks how well they will progress, but this is the time frame, end of August, beginning of September, where they will be back in team training if everything goes to plan.
And if I can just take you back to Saturday a little bit, now you've had some more time since we obviously last spoke to you. How do you reflect on that game and the performance from the team?
Not major different to immediately after the game. I think we all together had the feeling that it was a quite strong performance overall in ball possession and without ball possession as well. I think we had the feeling we deserved this win. Obviously, it was a game where we tick a lot of boxes, which is important quite early in the season to have it. So we came from in behind, we scored late. Our subs made an impact as well. So a lot of boxes got ticked with this win as well. But to be fair, after Tuesday, it's business as usual, and really looking forward. We put this game to bed because it's done. Good performance, got 3 points. As I said, a lot of boxes ticked, but since Tuesday we are very focused and looking forward to the next big challenge which is in front of us, and this means Southampton away.
And in terms of your own sort of philosophy and ideas, was that performance pretty close to what you want from your team?
Yeah, it was good. So, but every game is different. Every opponent is different. Obviously, there are some small margins which you have to justify on the opponent which you face. But I think in general, how we played this game, how we stuck to our principles was good, and obviously every win and good performance gives you belief, gives you trust, gives you confidence, and the whole group is really looking forward to the challenge which we face on Saturday. A very talented side, which Southampton is. I think this is not a secret, but we will search for our chance, and we are really looking forward to this game.
I think you spoke in pre-season about how together you felt this group was. How big is that in moments like maybe on Saturday when you're looking for a late winner, and how big will it be for you in the games coming up?
Yeah, it's fuel for the togetherness, for the commitment. I was surprised? Not really, to be fair, because we are now together 6 weeks of pre-season, but obviously it's always a kind of uncertainty, isn't it, after pre-season, before the first game. But then how everything clicked together, how they really worked, fought. I think you were able to feel the desire and the passion which the players has shown. And then obviously with the atmosphere on the stands as well, everything clicked together. And then they produced a performance which they have done. And obviously, we need more of them, and even a better one, because without being disrespectful to Hull, I think Southampton is on another level as well, and this means we have to be on another level, even if we can say we had a good performance.
I wanted to ask you about Adam Eder. Now going into this game when you've got to make a selection for your strikers, how difficult is it to balance that? Because obviously he's not played a lot of minutes in that game, hasn't necessarily played a huge role in how the team plays, but obviously scores in such a big moment.
First and foremost, I think everybody knows how high I rate Adam. I'm very happy for him that he scored this winner, and this important winner, this late winner, where then the roof threw away after he scored in this moment. So he deserved really his moment, this moment. Obviously at the minute he is not starting. This is the truth as well. So we look after him, that we make sure that he keeps his fitness level as high as possible with some additional work. He's very open-minded. And then when there will be the moment, and we all together, I know how football works, where he gets to start, we have to make sure that he is in the best possible shape. If this will take another week, 2 weeks, nobody knows. But obviously I'm very happy with the strikers which I have. They are a very good striker group as well. They work very hard in training together, support each other as well. And obviously everyone likes to start, everyone likes to score, give assists, but they support each other very, very well. And this will be important over the season.
Someone else I wanted to ask you about was Christian Fastnacht. He's obviously spent the whole of his career in Switzerland and now will have to adapt to English football. Where do you think he is in that, in terms of the change from where he was before to where he is now?
And no one should underestimate that they in Switzerland play some decent football as well. And he played in the Champions League, in the Europa League. He played in the World Cup, European Cup as well. So he played on some other stages rather than only in Switzerland. But at the end of the day, no one really can think about how big it is to leave your home country and come into a new country. But he's a very intelligent guy, very open-minded guy, so he adapts very, very well. The good thing on Fassi is he always, after a game, if you see the numbers, he always produces numbers in his workload, total distance, high endurance distance as well is always strong, so he works very hard for the team, and he can be in the right position for goals and assists as well. So I'm very happy that we have him. You can see in every training session that he progresses, that he makes steps forward, and it's just around the corner when he will get his first start as well.
And on Southampton, you spoke about what a good side you think they are. What sort of tests are your team in for this weekend?
it's a very talented side. I think in ball possession they have individual quality which speaks for itself in the wide position and centrally as well. They have everything. They have speed, they can shoot from distance, they have set pieces, wide areas. Defensively looked very solid as well, but at the end of the day, every team has their weaknesses. This is the nature of the game. You have to try to exploit them, and this is what we like to do. For sure, we have to be, as I said, on another level. We have to be very, very brave, believe in ourselves, try to be totally focused on us and our game. And to be fair, there are not a lot of games in the championship season where we are anything but the favorite, and this is the case on Saturday, and this means we can play with totally freedom and enjoy ourselves, and this is what we like to do. I've heard that we nearly have 2,000 away supporters with us, which is great, so let's try everything to have a good afternoon, and this is what we will do. We will fight for every inch. What we will get out of the game, like always, I have no idea.
And Russell Martin, obviously their manager and somebody that's well known around here. What have you made when you've come up against his teams? I think there was that game against Swansea last year. What do you make of him as a coach?
Yeah, when we met them last year against Swansea, I think it was a very clear story, very easy story. We conceded the red card quite early, conceded a heavy defeat, a deserved defeat, but it's last season. New team, which he has with Southampton, a new team which we have as well. Obviously, he plays a certain style. I like what I've seen from him and his team, but for me the most important thing is my team, and that we really make it as much uncomfortable for them as possible.
Do you think this is a good sort of test of where your team are against a team that's obviously expected to be in and around the promotion race?
Yeah, for sure. So Southampton will get promoted. This is not a question for me. So this is more or less for me sure. If this is not the case, it would be a big surprise for me. But for us, it means we will face one of the best, or maybe the best team in the division very early in the season, and away from home. So. We are looking forward to this challenge, as I said, you like to test yourself against the best, and this is one of the best for sure, and this is where we are really looking forward to.
Just a couple more from me, if that's all right. Does that mean you're expecting to maybe counter-attack more than you did in that whole game against a team that obviously loves possession as much as Southampton do?
We will see. Nobody knows how the game will look like. If we have to have a situation where we can break them on the counter, we will do. If we have a lot of ball possession like we had in the last game, then we take the ball possession. I think the good thing on us is we are quite adaptable, and we can do more or less take all the tasks which we get asked and do the best out of it. And this is what we've shown in the preseason. Whoever we played, was it Alkmaar, very talented side who took care of the ball very well. I think we found a way. Was it a physical game like against Hull or Toulouse, as we've seen, or the German games in the preseason, which were quite intense? So we found ideas, solutions, and we were adaptable. And this is exactly what I expect from us. So for sure, in a game like against Southampton, there will be periods where you have to suffer, where you really have to make the hard yards. We know this. We are prepared for this, to be mentally strong as well. But like always, if you maybe can get the lead, can give you a lift, can give you energy as well. So every second which pass will be a second in our favor, and this is what we will do. So we will fight for a result for sure.
And you spoke about being clinical on Saturday. Is that going to be more important? Do you feel like maybe you might get less chances than you did in that whole game? You need to be better at taking them.
Yeah, I think the very interesting thing against Southampton is you have to be strong in both areas. You have to be strong in defending your own box. Don't give easy chances away, be very, very focused, very, very concentrated, and obviously in the opponent's box you have to be ruthless. If you have an opportunity, try to use it and put pressure on them, and this is exactly what we like to do.
Cheers, David.
David, are you planning to come up against James Ward-Prowse tomorrow or Saturday, or are you expecting that he'll be gone?
Like always, things who are not in my control, I don't really care about. It's not my player. I think this is a problem which they have to solve.
That's fine. I guess the pragmatic answer for dealing with home games and away games is it's the same pitch, same goals. It's all the same. It doesn't really matter. But is there a degree that you have to alter your approach and what you want, and little tweaks from when you're trying to win a game away from home compared to at home?
Same pitch, same ball. No, listen, I said this before. I think as much as you stick to your idea, and this is what we have done more or less the whole week, that we like to play our pattern, that we like to stick to our principles, you have to be quite adaptable in the championship. Especially if you face opponents with certain styles. So some of the styles are quite direct. You have to adapt to it. So what Southampton is doing is exactly the opposite of this. So you have to adapt to this as well. And set yourself up and find a way to respect them, but as well to make sure that it's uncomfortable for them. And this is exactly what we like to do.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, but Narcis Palac's role is to help with the game plan and assessing opponents and coming up with how to deal with them. How is that relationship being? Because I know you said you've always wanted to work with a coach like this, and obviously this will be the second attempt at implementing what's coming out.
Yeah, correct. So he obviously has several things to do in our backroom stuff, but one thing is that he is the opponent's analyze, and he comes up together with the analyze department with the first idea. Okay, how we like to play against them in ball possession and without ball possession as well. And obviously then when we create this idea, then further together, then we set up a match plan, a game plan, what we like to do, and then we work on this when we have a full week like this week, luckily, to hopefully give the players the right picture in their head that they can exploit on the right perfectly.
Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, because I don't know how many full weeks you get over the
Correct.
Make the most of it. If I could just go back on Max, I don't know when he had his last training session with you guys, or when he was last here, was it?
He was with us on Tuesday. Today is Thursday.
Yeah,
on Tuesday. Yeah, he was with us on Tuesday.
How, you may have answered this before, but how has he been? Because obviously there was a lot of talk about time to move on before pre-season. He had an amazing time with England and became European champion. And you would have worked with him last year, but what did you make of the attitude and his character in terms of coming back and being involved in all of that stuff?
Absolutely top class. So Max, apart from that he is a very, very good player, is a very good character as well. So he loves this football club. He lives for this football club. He only likes to do everything that this football club feels good, and this is how he behaved as well. Obviously, it's always a little bit different with players where they have offers which were not as good as we wanted to have them, but how he behaved, how he worked, how he trained, top. No complaints. This is how it should be. He was involved in the sessions when possible, when necessary, all in the sessions where we wanted to use him, and obviously then there were some sessions where we had to catch up some fitness and had to make some individual work as well.
Is that Max out there doing the go?
Can you give us 2 minutes? Just big press conference. You look very surprised.
Might be longer than 2 minutes.
You look surprised and scared.
That was all good with Max. That's great. Oh, he's still going. With Milot, I think you kind of indicated there, David, that he's sort of done 3 weeks, and maybe there'll be another 3 weeks of preparation. Does that effectively rule him out of being in contention, even if he's here?
No, I think we should not rule anything out. Nobody knows what happens in the next 3 weeks. But what I said for Max counts for Millet as well. So he is part of this group, and always when we can and like to use him, we use him. He does his work and catch up his fitness as well. So I don't like to rule anything out. It's transfer window. Nobody knows what happens in the next 3 weeks. But obviously we all together know what the aim of all of us is. Will this happen? I have no idea. I have no idea if it will happen. If it will happen with Max, even if it looks like, but as soon as nothing is agreed and signed, I'm always cautious.
I understand that completely. Finally, if I may, in terms of the centre-back situation, obviously we know Grant Hanley will hopefully be coming back sort of later on in the season. Are you comfortable with having Ben, Shane and Andrew up until that point? And do you look for reinforcements there, or would you be comfortable with going with what you've got at the moment?
And Jaden is with us now more or less the whole pre-season, doing some good steps in the right direction. Hopefully when Lungi is back during the international break in September, we have some alternatives. Yeah, I'm quite confident on this position at the minute. Yeah.
And Jonathan as well. I'm guessing that injury wasn't as bad as.
Yeah. So as I said, we hope that he is short before or after the international break.
And will you expect a degree of patience, I suppose, from Andrew? Andrew, obviously, he hasn't started the first game. Again, he's another one who's probably had to deal with a little bit of speculation, I suppose, all of that external noise from. This season.
Yeah, listen, obviously it counts for the centre backs like what I said for the strikers. I respect that everybody likes to start. The good thing is that there's competition and no one can take it easy as a centre back in this situation as well and have to perform on the highest level. If not, we are happy to have the situation that we can react. The good thing is all of them are physically in a very good shape. All of them played a lot of minutes in the preseason as well. And I said this beforehand, the preseason is not over after the 6 weeks, at least till the first international break. There are so many games, so many important games where you have to have a feeling for each other and for the group as well. And for in this period, still everyone is fighting for his position, and this is exactly what happened in the first game. Especially as you've seen in the centre back position as well. Andrew came in and has done well in this 20 minutes when he came in. But yeah, you are right. We have competition on this position.
And was there much to dissect from Hull's goal? Because I guess in another game it obviously could have been more costly, but. In terms of maybe the two of them seem to be in the opposite position, and maybe Ben should pull out of the way, or line that out?
No, I think this is quite a simple individual mistake which we faced in this situation. We should have solved this issue quite confident and very easy, and they have done, I don't know, thousands of times before, and a few times in this game this as well. Luckily, it didn't cost us that we were able to win, but for sure this is a situation which we should avoid, to give goals away so easy. But it happened, and obviously, to be fair, we spoken about it, but we not really analyzed it. This is not a goal which you can analyze or which you should analyze from the tactical point of view, and then everybody is easily able to raise his hand, yeah, my mistake, and we move on.
Brilliant, David. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.